Hello, check, check.
Ready? Good morning and welcome to Oil and Gas Premier League Season 1, game number 7. It's between DNO Dynamos and JSS, sorry. Ajit from JSS and Prabhat is going to represent DNO Dynamos. Our umpires for the game, Harish and Vinay. Ajit, you'll flip the coin. Prabhat will call. Heads is a call. And tails it is. Ajit, what do you want to do?
We're going to bat first.
Any reason for batting?
I think we have a good squad. We'll start batting. Look at a target of around 200. Close to that.
And who are the guys you're banking on to get you that 200 today?
Ranjit and Asad.
Ranjit and Asad. Thank you. And Prabhat, welcome. Happy to bowl first on this wicket?
We were planning to bowl first, so we toss is 11th first, right? So we'll try to restrict them to 120 or 130, right? So
your assessment of the pitch, it's a fresh wicket for the day, and how do you feel about it?
It looks a little damp, and probably would be very slow for the first 20 overs, and I hope for a better pitch in next inning.
Anyway, that's the news from the centre. JSS won the toss, elected to bat first. Both the captains happy with what they have. We have match starting in the next few moments. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All the best. More or less questions are the same. I mean, somewhere here, some. Santosh to bowl the first over. Straight back to the bowler. No run there. इसको बोल दे गलत बैट्समैन को स्ट्राइक पे रखा असद नॉन स्ट्राइक पे रंजीत स्ट्राइक लेट्स सी plays it towards covers, no run there. So Santosh off to a good start, a couple of balls on. In the power play, again, this one too close over. Asked for a caught behind. The confident appeal, umpires unmoved. Keeper asking anybody and everybody for that decision. The man, most important man, says no, and the score remains on 0 without loss. Both the umpires converging. Probably a small. And the umpires decide it's not out. Score remains on 0. 3 balls up. And a good start by Santosh so far. Keeping the batsman quiet. No room whatsoever. Want to continue that same. And this time Ranjit comes down the track. Plays it over. Covers for a boundary. So he had enough of that. Comes down the wicket and plays it over. Covers for a boundary. 4 runs for the loss of no wicket. We're into the 4th over. So moral victory for the bowler. But no. Bright sunny morning here in Eagle Sports Grounds on the Dubai Lane Road. This time Santosh off radar now, balls are wide. This is the issue that the bowlers will have to contend with 2 men allowed. The batsman is going to take his chances. It's just how you keep your composure out there. Uncomposed for the first 3 balls, and then this time slightly short, slams it over. Mid on for a boundary. The man had long off doing the chase. Score moves on to 9. So Ranjit now starting to take off. Last ball of the first over coming up. It's a slightly damp wicket when as we saw. This time again Ranjit coming down the wicket. Plays it towards long off. Vinod, the fielder, keeps it down to 1. So an eventful over comes to an end. 10 runs for the loss of no wicket. Couple of changes in the DNO Dynamo side. Chandan Kumar Singh operating the second over, partnering Santosh. And bowling and batting is all about partnerships. Let's see how the new ball for now. Right arm action. Full toss. Chance of a catch. Third man and drop. An easy catch, a couple of times into the hands, and it pops out. So Ranjit survives again. Fairly easy chance. Drop. How costly is the drop going to be this time? Down leg side. Another wide. Score moves on to 11. Hitesh, the fielder, had shot third. I'd seen him doing a lot of catching practice prior to the game. Fortunately for him this time. Oh, beautiful ball. Yorker length. Ranjit trying to eye the onside, but the ball, the length wasn't that great to go for a shot. Lucky for him, he just jams it out. So Chandan using his experience out here, not trying to bowl too fast, trying to keep the ball on line and length, inviting the batsman to use all the power. Two men outside on the boundary, other man at wideish long off and a long on. This time over point, Kinjal giving the chase. 1 run completed, batsman come back for the second. Ranjit collects another couple, score moves on to 13. Chandan making use of the cross breeze that is on offer, trying to make the ball wobble in the air, entice the batsman to play a bit early. Let's see what does he come up with. Right arm over the wicket. Ranjit comes down the track, plays it, chase for the man at mid-on. Zain the fielder, 1 run completed, wanting a second, but Asad declining it. So Asad on strike for the first time in the game. Score moves on to 14. Change in the field, the man at long off going into mid off, and the man at mid on going down to long on. So slight change there. The man straight down the ground being no contact there. Score remains on 15. It's all happening out here at the Eagle Speed Sports Club here, and another swing and a miss. A beautiful over comes to an end. For the loss of no wicket, 4 runs coming off that over, a wide. And 3 runs of the bat. Santosh comes back. Both the bowlers getting some help off the wicket. Ranjit is the one who's making it again, this time down leg side. This is not going to help. DNO Dynamos already bowling the third wide in the third over. Wides are going to be quite crucial in such games. Both the teams trying to register their first win of the tournament. Both the teams losing their respective league games so far. Asking for another one, this time outside the off stump, enticing the batsman, wants to go over cover. The third over of the power play, this time outside off stump, plays it towards point. Kinjal doing the fielding there. Score remains on 15. Welcome back after we lost our voice for a couple of balls. Coming to the end of the third over, 2.5 overs, 18 for no loss. Asad now playing the ball on its merit, plays it towards short cover, end of the over. Three overs, 18 for no wicket, so 4 runs coming off this over as well. After the initial burst by Ranjit, he's batting 14 of 14 with 2 boundaries. Asad batting 1 of 4. 3 extras in the innings so far. So have a look at the bowling analysis. Santosh 2 overs, 14 runs, no wicket. Chandan 1 over, 4 runs. He starts the second over. He's bowling to Ranjit. Right arm over the wicket. Again, Ranjit eyeing up that cover region. The length not there. Happy to play towards short covers. Santosh the fielder. Same. Chandan to Ranjit. Ranjit at the wicket still after those couple of reprieves. This time Ranjit plays it over mid-on, plays it towards Zain, the man at long on, doing the fielding there. So 1 more run added. Chandan to Asad. Right, I'm over the wicket. Again, a swing and a miss. He's not coming behind the line of the ball. No foot movement whatsoever. Just playing through the line. Not the kind of wicket that you can play more squarer. You got to play more into the V. Be enticed to have a slip in well as just to make sure to keep the batsman guessing out here. Full toss, plays it towards short square, wants a single, a misfield there, hits the knee of the fielder, goes a few meters away from him, and Asad gets off strike. Score moves on to 20. 4 balls of the 4th over completed. There's a 5th ball coming up here in the power play. Just 2 men allowed outside the circle in the first 6 overs. Chandan, and again, another goodish on the good length spot. Misfield again, a single added to the total. So misfields are going to hurt DNO Dynamos. They got to cover up for every run that they can. Captain just trying to egg his players on, only wanting them to field up to the standards that they can. No misfields or overthrows. Chandan comes into bowl to Asad, plays it down towards long on. Zain, the fielder, he's kept busy through the morning. So another over comes to end, another 4-run over. Score moves on to 22 for the loss of no wicket. Santosh coming into bowl to Asad, wails it on the pads. That's easy pickings for an Asian batsman when you bowl it on his pads. Maneuvers it down to long leg for a single. He's off strike. Ranjit on strike. As we speak to Paul. Paul, can we have you? How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Enjoying the conditions out here?
Well, yes, I think we've come off to a good start so far. We're quite happy with it.
And when was the last time you played competitive cricket and coming back to play?
40 years ago.
40 years ago, that's quite a bit of time.
At least. I'm feeling it.
And how are the legs keeping up?
Legs okay, but everything else is a bit stiff, you know.
Any instructions from James coming in for you when you were in the last 2 games, and what's the instructions for today as well?
Well, he just says stop complaining and start playing.
That's right. That's wonderful to know, Paul. Thank you, Paul.
the DNO dinosaurs, right?
Is it the Dynamos or the Dinosaurs?
Well, my kid calls us the dinosaurs.
Oh, a bit of comedy going on out here as James comes up with another one-liner of his as we concentrate back on the cricket. Santosh to continue. He's bowling to Ranjit. Cuts this one between shot third and Gully, ball racing away. Kinjal racing towards, keeps it just inside and keeps it down to a double. So after the initial 10 runs over, DNO Dynamos starting to keep a lid on the proceedings, not allowing any boundary to be scored whatsoever. Score moves on to 25. 4.4 overs. Ranjit now again coming down the track, plays it towards mid-off and a slight misfield, but no harm whatsoever. Score remains on 25. As the last ball of the over comes up, I have my co-commentator Fahad. Fahad, your assessment of the conditions and the proceedings so far.
Thank you so much, Vinay. It's only 23 for none after 4.3 over. And when the toss and choosing to bat first, it's quite impressive, I think, decision. They're not so quick with the bat so far. But if I'm talking about the bowling side, they are doing really outstanding so far. And they have two changes maybe today. You were talking with James and Paul, so that talks were impressive and a little bit funny as well. So condition is very good, the weather is very good, and the grip on the game, I think the bowling side is gripped very well. So maybe it will reach on 150 or around it. So that would be chaseable for them. But as I saw their games before, if they were failed them stopped before 150 or 140, so I mean if they will score 170 or more than, so it would be very painful to chase for them. So what you think, where they can able to stop them?
I guess with the way they're going, it's both these bowlers are quite experienced now. It depends on the people who are coming in the following overs. How are they going to perform? The wicket, as I saw in the earlier, was slightly damp, so the ball was coming slow off the wicket. But as and when the sun starts beating down on the wicket, it's going to ease up, and the batsman is going to get more free flow. Ranjit lucky enough to be surviving here. He could have been out in the second over itself. So he will want to make an impression, asking for an LBW, probably an inside edge onto it. So my assessment is probably 160 could be par out here. And DNO Dynamos have a frail batting lineup. They don't boast much of the batting. It all revolves around Prabhat Saxena. So if he's at the wicket, then 160 could be chaseable. Else, they could be facing an uphill task out here. As we again come back and see what the scores is. Ball misfield goes towards mid-off, no run there. 28, we're into the last over of power play. 5.3 overs completed. Ranjit doing the bulk of the scoring. He's on 21 of 25. Asad is 4 of 8. So he needs, Ranjit needs his partner to at least keep it to run a ball that would propel the score, as he plays a one-handed swat towards mid-wicket, keeps it down to a double. Now again you see the intent in running. Ranjit has to push his partner to get those extra runs. As the throw came in, they could have taken a third, but Ranjit happy to keep strike and keep it to 2. So 30 for the loss of no wicket. The fifth ball of the sixth over coming up. Again, uppish drive. Good bit of field placement for that drive. The man at wideish long off. The best man standing there. Score moves on to 31 as the last ball of power play comes up. Both the bowlers, opening bowlers, having a 3-over burst. Santosh 3 overs 18 for no loss, and Chandan 2.5 overs 13 for no loss as Asad comes into play, face the last ball. Plays it back towards mid-on, the man at mid-off running around and keeping it down to a single. So end of power play, 32 for no loss. Asad batting 4 of 9. Ranjit batting 24 of 27. 3 extras in the innings so far, 2 bowlers being used. As power play comes to a close, so fairly even Stevens out here. No loss for the JSS side, and DNO Dynamos happy to keep them under 6 runs and over. Let's see what unfolds in the next 6 to 10 overs is what will define the game for both the sides. The first bowling change. Vinod comes into bowl. As we start up, we speak to Chandan for a moment or so. Chandan, the conditions, happy to bowl on this wicket. It's slightly damp.
Yes, looks good. It's damp slightly. But yes, ball is swinging.
The ball is swinging, and you enjoyed bowling today?
Yes.
So one more over. How happy to get? Not happy to get the wicket of Ranjit?
Yes. At least he should have got 2 wickets.
2 wickets. As Vinod comes into bowl to Asad down the leg side. Now this is where the teams, the first change and the second change bowlers have to step up and keep control on the things as the opening bowlers have done so far. Wides are not going to help, as another one down leg side. Asad just puts a hand to it and the ball goes towards the fine leg boundary. He collects his first boundary, so expensive start for Vinod, giving away 5 runs of the 1 ball he's bowled. Score moves on to 37. You got to keep it on the stumps if you want to keep the batsman quiet. As we have a look at India's score against Australia, tottering at 139 for 6. Last casualty, Kohli being stumped. It's a controversial moment as it's written on the site, and let's concentrate back on the game here at the Eagle Sports Club at DNO Dynamos. It's a chance of an LBW. Umpire unmoved. Again, probably going down leg side. Quite difficult to assess whether it was going down leg or was it a brush of the bat first. But Asad is still there to survive. Much better ball. Too full a length for Asad to play that shot, but manages to place it towards short mid wicket and collect a single. .38 for the loss of no wicket. Ranjit on strike. Vinod the bowler. This is change the field. Man at deep wicket, just a few yards inside. Again, straightish delivery. Plays it towards long off for a single. Score moves on to 39. Good comeback after the first 2 balls where he gave away 5 runs. Cuts it towards point. The man at deep point there. Keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 40. That's the last ball of the 7th over coming up. Of the high in the air, the man at long on coming in, but sails over the long on boundary for the first maximum. So a very expensive over comes to an end. Zen misjudging, walking in first, then trying to make his way back, but too late. The ball had gone over the long on boundary. 46 for the loss of no wicket. 14 runs coming off that over. So the extra wide costing that 6 for the DNO Dynamos. Prabhat Saxena, the captain, coming in to bowl for the first time. He is bowling to Asad, his counterpart. Right, I'm over the wicket. On the legs, Asad sends that towards short square for a single. Score moves on to 47. Foolish delivery, plays it towards Gully. Kinjal doing the fielding there, no run added. Score remains on 47. Ranjit with that maximum moves on to 31 of 29. Again, floating the ball outside the off stump, inviting the drive. Umpire signaling a late leg by. It's a good piece of bowling, keeping the batsman quiet and keeping Ranjit quiet. You've done quite well. We want to Asad again, a full toss, plays it towards mid wicket. The man fielding well, 1 run added, another second, so 2 runs added to the total. Keeper doing a good job. The 50 comes up in 7.5 overs. So Asad now slowly trying to change gears and rotate the strike and try to maximize his potential out here. He moves on to 14 or 15 with 1 boundary as Prabhat comes into bowl. In the air, but way short of the fielder at deep mid wicket. So 1 more run added to the total. A good over from Prabhat. Just giving away 4 runs from that over. .51 for the loss of no wicket. 8 overs, 51 for no loss. Ranjit batting 31 of 32. Asad batting 15 of 16 balls. Five extras in the innings so far.
51.
51. As we see a change in bowling number, Zain coming into bowl the 9th over of the innings. It's coming from round the wicket, bowling to Asad. Full toss, called a no ball. So a free hit. Asad gets a free hit. Let's see what he comes up with. Plays it towards square leg. The fielder from square leg giving the chase. 2 runs added. Score moves on to 54. Asad on strike. Zain comes into bowl. This time a much fuller delivery, 1 run added, a bit of a misfield there, keeps it down to 1. DNO Dynamos, a bunch of players who've come into the game after quite some time, so that rustiness is going to show in their game. Zain into Ranjit, foolish delivery, keeps it to the Yorker length. I think probably the best length to bowl to Ranjit as of now is keep it under his bat. Keep it under his bat. He's not going to make much use of that as he bowls 1 down leg side. Ranjit helping himself to another boundary. A chase for the fielder. Not the line that you should be bowling to Ranjit. It's not going to trouble him at all. He's going to help himself to some free runs out here, as he does on that occasion. Score moves on to 59 as coming to the end of the... This time high in the air, the man at long on doing the fielding. Chance of a catch, and after a couple of juggles, a beautiful catch. For a moment, Prabhat had just lost it off his arms, but it was still within his grasp, and he takes a lovely catch to see the back of Ranjit, who's out for 35. He's out for a well-made 35 of 35. Could consider himself slightly unlucky. He had played it as straight as an arrow, but the man had long on. Prabhat, keeping his eye on the ball, holds on to it after a couple of attempts. And probably this is the inspiration that the DNO Dynamos were looking for, to see the back of Ranjit and trying to put a bit more pressure on Asad. That is what cricket is all about, is to come and showcase your skills and make use of it at the right moment, and this is what Prabhat had done. Had a word with Chandan the previous ball and discussing on the field positions, and a right call that he was at the right place. He ran in a good 20 meters to his left, kept his eye on the ball, tried to hold on to it, a couple of juggles still in his grasp, takes it up and his arms in the air to say, thank you Ranjit, you're on your way back to the hut. That's number 3. Shiraz comes into bat. As he bowls a wide and 2 runs added to the total. 61 for 1. Last ball of the 9th over coming up. Asad on strike. He's batting 18 of 19 balls. Again another wide. As I said, again down the wrong line. His arm is slightly rounder. He needs to come over the wicket if he wants to stop these bleeding. Again another wide. Three wides being bowled. This time outside off stump, cuts it the man Kinjal, misfields, 1 run just added. Asad not having that intent of a second run, so end of the over, a successful one for DNO Dynamos, giving away 11 runs but getting the prize wicket of Ranjit. So 64 for 1 at the end of 9 overs. End of 9 overs, 64 for the loss of 1 wicket as we come towards the midway of the innings. 1 over to complete the 10 overs of on the commentator's end. Prabhat to Asad. Chance of a catch, slightly wide of the man. Straightish mid wicket, 1 run added. Score moves on to 65. Shiraz. Good piece of bowling by Prabhat, floating it in the air, giving a lot of air. Shiraz Shiraz too early into the shot. As Prabhat comes into ball this time down leg side, but batsman helping it over the long leg boundary. And a loose ball resulting in 4 runs added. Score moves on to 69. Three balls of the 10th over completed. 69 for 1. Shiraz gets his first boundary of the day. But again floating this one outside off stump. Again in no man's land whatsoever, moving forward and then going back. By then the ball had already crossed the bat. Lucky for him, there's no edge. Prashant, the wicketkeeper, doing well so far. He's kept well. No success. Ball towards point. No run there. So end of 10 overs. 69 for 1. Pretty even Steven still as we reach the 10 over max. 69 runs is what JSS have scored. Lost a wicket. So DNO Dynamos would be happy that they have not let JSS run away with the game. At the end of 10 overs, 69 for 1. As we have a look at the scorecard, Asad batting 20 of 21. Ranjit the man out 35 of 35 with 3 boundaries and 1 6. Shiraz batting 4 of 5 with 1 boundary. 10 extras in the innings so far. 8 wides, 1 no ball and 1 leg by. So we have a look at the bowling analysis. Santosh 3 overs, 18 runs, no wicket. Unlucky for him. The cop behind probably might be a bit controversial out there. Chandan Kumar 3 overs, 14. He too was unlucky where Hitesh dropped a catch of Ranjit while he was batting in single digits. Vinod Jacob, the 1 over, 14 runs. Prabhat 2 overs, 9 runs, no wicket. Economical so far. And Zen, the successful bowler, giving away 13 runs in the 1 over that he had bowled. Drinks on the field now. We'll be back in action in a few moments from now. Back as we come to the second half of the innings. As we change in bowling, Krishna Raj comes into bowl. On the Vision ground end. He's bowling to Asad, who's batting 20 of 21. Right arm over the wicket, slow bowler. Keeps it on or outside the off stump. This time the ball pitching outside and slightly shaping away. No run. Again, batsman trying to take advantage. The ball racing towards the third man boundary. 2 runs added to the total. Score moves on to 71. Hitting the under half of the bat and racing towards third man. Again, this time bowls it outside the off stump. Prashad doing the keeping there. Keeps wide added. This time outside the off stump. Asad asking for a wide. Umpire says it's within the lines. Down leg side, this time a wide. Score moves on to 73. Couple of wides in the over, couple of runs of the bat. 4 runs added for 3 balls being counted. This time again outside off stump. Slightly short. Asad plays it towards long on for a single. On strike. Edge this one towards short third. Paul doing the fielding there. Score remains on 74. Last ball of the 11th over coming up. Onto the pads. Swivels across, plays it towards short square leg for a single. So 75 for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 11 overs. 6 runs coming off that over. Jacob to continue. Given away 14 runs in the first over that he had bowled, so his captain would be wanting a better show than him. It's the 12th over coming up. Jacob. Again down leg side. Score moves on to 76. This time outside off stump. Shiraz plays it towards the man at extra cover for a single. Score moves on to 77. Towards the man at long off, a single there. Score moves on to 78. Asad moves on to 24 of 26. Shiraz batting 6 of 8. Towards off stump. This is a much better line outside off stump. There's always a chance you've got much protection on your offside rather than your onside. The man at onside, the man at fine leg, short mid wicket, deep mid wicket, and this time plays it back towards the bowler. No run there. Man at long on, the man at on the offside. We got a man at short third, gully, extra covers, and the man at long off. This time again playing it across the line. Krish comes down, fields the ball, keeps it down to a single. .79 for 1, 11.5 overs as the last ball of the much better over from Vinod so far. He's just given away 4 runs. And that it keeps it that way. Again, under the bat, Asad playing it back towards the bowler. End of 12 overs, 80 for the loss of no wicket. It's 2 overs costing 19 runs. Now that was a 5-run over. So Prabhat coming back to bowl after giving Krishna 1 over. Probably retaining, wants to get a wicket or so before they try to run. Yes, so it was Krishnaraj who's continuing. Prabhat goes back to mid wicket. Down leg side, a wide. Outside off stump. Dot ball. Score remains on 81. So wides helping the cause for JSS so far. Batsman as Shiraz plays it towards deep covers, misfield there, and a boundary. What should have been 1 results in a boundary. There's another misfield, costing some additional runs for DNO Dynamos. Score moves on to 85. Shiraz collects his second boundary. Chance of a catch. Kinjal coming way ahead of him. Ball turning at the last minute, and they get another couple. Scored a mistake, yeah. Shiraz on strike. Shiraz 1. Come back for the second. Score moves on to 89. Chance of a run out, and it's been given. Asad, the man, run out, unable to make his ground. Finally runs out of luck. Gaurav Sharma, the new man. Krishna's ball to Shiraz. Down outside, asking for a caught behind. Umpire deems it a wide. Score moves on to 89. It's the fifth ball of the 13th over. Shortish ball. Shiraz moves forward, then comes back. One run added. Kinjal comes, fields, and Shiraz is quite quick to seize the opportunity for a second run. Score moves on to 91. Gaurav Sharma coming at the fall of Asad's wicket, who was run out. Maybe a blessing in disguise for the JSS, where they were not able to capitalize on those quick runs, singles which were not able to convert to twos and twos into threes. So with a young, fresh set of legs, Shiraz could have his partner running more as he plays it towards extra cover, completes a single, ball races away to the boundary. Score moves on to 96 at the end of 13 overs. Current run rate of 7.38, projected score 148. But would they be happy with 150 is what the question is, as Prabhat comes into bowl. Gaurav Sharma, the batsman, taking strike for the first time. Krishna rather expensive over 22 of his 2 overs. It is bowled 16 runs coming off that over. Prabhat to Gaurav. Outside the off stump, moving forward. Shiraz again asking for a wide from the non-striker. He's got to be careful. You cannot keep asking such questions again and again. As Gaurav plays it towards point, wanting a single use of the fielder there. Quick to bounce onto that. Keeps the score down to 96. Chance again, hitting the outer edge of the bat, going to a short third. Shiraz quickly turns for a single. Score moves on to 97. Taking strike to Prabhat. Let's see what sort of a line or length is Prabhat going to bowl, because Shiraz not going to hold back. Plays it towards mid wicket. The man at deep mid wicket doing the chase. Vinod, 1 run added. Gaurav wanting to come back for a second, but a better throw this time. Keeps it down to 1. So moves on to 98. So Shiraz nearly getting sucked into the trap. Lucky for him, it was just far away from it. Gaurav tries to take a mighty heave to the ball outside off stump. Score moves to 99. Last ball of the over. A quick end to the over. Prabhat keeping it down to 2 runs in the over. 14 overs completed. 98 for 2. Current run rate of 7 will lead them to 140 as James Foster comes into bowl. James Foster, the managing director of DNO Dynamos, has a lot of good words for his boys, keeps them motivated, wanting them to do well on the field apart from their regular day jobs. Ball right arm over the wicket, slowish. It's chance of a catch, goes down to short third. Paul and Yusuf, the men giving chase. Yusuf doing the fielding there. Keeps it down to 2. Gaurav wanting to take the third. Shiraz not attentive there. So the 100 coming up in the 15th over. Short ball. Shiraz plays it towards short mid wicket. Prabhat misfields there. 1 run added. Gives away chance for the second. Just took his eye off the ball for a second, and score goes on to 102. Nearly chopped it back onto a stump. So 4 runs coming of the 3 balls so far. Outside off stump. Again, another good ball. Shiraz trying to rock back and cut this one. Not the length that is there. Last ball of the over. In the air, the man at Chandan coming in. Chance for catch. Drops that one. So another drop by the DNO Dynamos. Except for that brilliant catch by Prabhat. They've not been able to hold on to their catches. So another drop going. Shiraz, the beneficiary out here. He's batting 19 of 19. Full toss. The umpire doesn't deem that a no ball. Just going over the stump. So end of a very good over. 103 for 2. Just 5 runs coming off that over. We're into the last 5 overs of the innings. Misfield was long on, but still keeps it down to a single. Vinod Jacob. That's a good piece of fielding. James Foster running it from short mid wicket. Boots it back to the bowler, trying to get that run out, but not to be. Gaurav Sharma collects another single. Plays it back to the bowler, just short of him. Shiraz plays it towards extra cover. Managed short cover doing the fielding before the ball crosses him, so keeps it down to a single. (106 for 2) at the end of 16 overs. James Foster coming to bowl his second over. Vinod Jacob, a very good over the previous over, keeping it down to just 3 runs. So he's given away 22 of the 3 overs he's bowled. 7 bowlers used so far. Shiraz asking for a bat change. Men out. Ranjit out for 35 of 35 balls with 3 boundaries, 1 6. Asad out for 32 of 31. He was a run out with 2 boundaries. Fall of wickets 59 and 88. These two have stitched a partnership of 18 of 20 balls, whereas we're into the last 4 overs of the innings. James Foster slightly short, plays it back to the bowler. Shiraz has been there quite some time, but not able to middle the ball as much as he would like. He's again slightly short, again moving away and playing across the line. Quite better bowling from the DNO Dynamo boys. Not giving any pace whatsoever. The batsman needs to make as another third dot on the trot. It's James Foster showing the way how you bowl on such wickets where the ball wicket is slightly damp from the morning, and you keep it as low as possible. Short ball, plays it over towards long on, wanting the second. Gaurav denying the second, risky run. So 4 runs of the first 4 balls, 107 for 2. Gaurav Sharma on strike. He's batting 2 of 9. Shot, and the umpire deems it a wide, bowling it outside the line, so another wide to the total. 17 extras, 15 wides, 1 no ball and a leg by. This time Gaurav plays it towards deep mid wicket. Prabhat, the man coming from round there. Batsman easily crossing over for a double. So score moves on to 110. It's the last ball of the 17th over coming up. James Foster's given away 9 runs of this 1.5 overs as Gaurav bowls another one, this time towards square leg. 1 run added. Batsmen have to satisfy with a single, so he's given away 10 runs of the 2 overs he's bowled so far. 17 overs, 111 for 2 with 8 wickets in the hut, and another 3 overs. JSS needs to go full on this tournament. The tournament being sponsored by Bluebell Shipping, Sovowell, PFF Valve Fittings, Asco Filtry and Caltros. Prabhat to Gaurav outside the off stump, and this time a wide. Score moves on to 112. Prabhat to Gaurav. Misses the stump by a whisker. Chance of single, takes a single. Score moves on to 113. Prabhat bowling his last over. He's given away 13 runs of the 3.2 overs he's bowled so far. Still yet to get a wicket as Shiraz on strike to Prabhat. Again, laps this towards deep mid wicket. 1 run added, wanting the second. Gaurav Sharma not interested. Slightly quickish delivery in the air, over the bowler's head. 1 run towards mid-on, and by the time they come in, the second run being added. Score moves on to 116. It's 12:30 here local time. Again, jamming it right under his bat. So last ball of the over coming up, 116 for 2. Asad probably would be thinking he wanted it to be a 200. So James Foster does well, dives down to field that ball, keeps it down to a single. So end of 18 overs, 117 for 2. Prabhat Saxena completing his spell, 4 overs, 17 runs, no wicket, giving away 6 runs of that over. Current run rate 6.5. As Chandan comes in to bowl his last over and the penultimate over of the innings. Chandan into Shiraz. So that was to Gaurav. Plays it towards long off. 1 run added. Chandan into Shiraz, digs it into the wicket, goes towards, slashes it hard, going towards the third man boundary. A much needed boundary for the JSS team. From the bat of Shiraz, he's on 27 of 28 with 3 boundaries. Gaurav Sharma slowly picking up from where he started. He was 2 of 9 at one point. He's now 10 of 17, but they want a much bigger contribution from him in the next 10 balls of the innings. So change in the field. The man at shot third going out. Goes towards a wideish deep gully. Man at mid wicket. There's nobody at mid wicket, so the mid wicket's open. Chandan needs to keep it full. He can't bowl it short. Asking for an LBW way down leg side. Shiraz trying to play this over square leg. There's no boundary rider on the onside, so he cannot bowl short. He needs to keep it full. Batsman crossover for a single, waiting for the umpire signal. That's a wide, so 2 more wides to the total. Score moves on to 124, remaining 9 balls of the innings. 9 legal balls, barring the wides and no balls. Gaurav plays it towards long off. Prabhat stationed out there, keeps it down to a single. Throws the ball back to the bowler. Again, slowish delivery towards short covers. Plays it for a single, chance of a run out, but way too far from the stump there did Chandan collect the ball, so cannot stop the 2. Score moves on to 126, 18.4 overs completed. Interesting to see who will bowl the last over of the innings as Santosh is off the field. Again in the air towards the man at deep gully, 1 run added. Wanting to come back for a second. Gaurav not interested. Again, the disconnect showing between the batsmen. One of them keen, the second one not even looking towards him. So 127 for 2. Ten runs coming off the over so far with 1 to go. He's given away 24 runs of the 3.5 he's bowled. Gaurav on strike. Over the bowler's head, the man at long off doing the fielding keeps it down to 1. Shiraz wanting the second. would not have been wise if he had run that one. Chandan trying to effect a run out at the striker's end. Score 128 for 2 at the end of 19 overs. Gaurav Sharma decides to retire himself out, and Raj, the new man. Gaurav Sharma retired out, 13 of 19 balls. Vinod coming in to bowl the last over. He's given away 22 runs of the 3 overs that he has bowled. Change in the field. The man from deep gully coming into the gully position, and the man at short mid goes down towards deep mid wicket. Vinod into bowl. Raj plays it in the air towards long off. Collect a single, coming back for the second, and they do it 130. The score reaches 130 with 5 balls to go in the innings. 1 shot being called, so 1 run added to the total. Only score comes down to 129. Raj, the batsman, didn't ground his bat at the non-striker's end. There's a wild swing with ball nestling into the keeper's gloves. No run added. Their score remains on 129. Again in the air. Vinod trying to catch off his own bowling. Another drop out there. Keeps it down to a single. Remains on 130. Shiraz batting 29. Plays it towards long off. Prabhat station there. 1 run added. Wanting the second. Chance of a run out. Misses it. And Vinod unable to collect it cleanly. Miscommunication between the batsmen, but in the end managing to get 2 runs. Score moves on to 132. Plays it towards short square. James again using his feet out there to kick the ball towards the keeper. So 133 is what Raj on strike. Plays it towards long on. 1 run added, wanting to come back for the second. Shiraz is going to make it easily. So at the end of 20 overs, 134 for 3. As we have a look at the scorecard, Ranjit Kesav on 35 of 35, 3 boundaries, 1-6. Asad 32 of 31, 2 boundaries. Shiraz not out, 32 of 34 with 3 boundaries. Gaurav Sharma, the man retired out, 13 of 19 balls. Rajendran 2 of 2. 20 extras in innings. 18 wides, 1 wide and 1 no ball. As we look at the bowling analysis, Santosh 3 overs, 18 runs, no wicket. Chandan 4 overs, 25 runs, no wicket. Vinod Jacob 4 overs, 28 runs, no wicket. Prabhat Saxena 4 overs, 17 runs, no wicket. Zain 1 over, 13 runs, 1 wicket. Krishna Raj 2 overs, 22 runs. James Foster 2 overs, 10 runs. The fall of wickets 59 was the first wicket when Ranjit was out, caught at long on by Prabhat Saxena. Asad was out when the score was 88. He was run out. So 135 is what DNO Dynamos required to register their first win. So we will join you back in a few moments again. Welcome back live as the chase gets underway. DNO Dynamos chasing 135 to win. First ball down leg side, starts off with the wide. Asad. Bowler Suresh on strike, partner Parag Sharma. Again, this one down leg side, quite close to the stump, but we still deemed a wide, so 2 runs to the total. Trying to bring the ball back after pitching it from outside leg stump. Not sure if that this one pitching on and off the off stump and just shaping away. Eluding the bat. Suraj plays it towards short covers. By the time the man at covers comes in, a single being taken. Score moves on to 3. Suresh not showing any foot movement whatsoever. And at short third, man at gully point, deep point this time. Parag rocks back trying to play it. Again, not the length. On offer to play such a stroke. Score remains on 3. Chasing 6.75 per over. This one down leg side. Again, another wide. 3 wides bowled in the over so far. We're in the first over. Only 2 men allowed outside the circle. The man at long on and the man at deep point. Predominantly offside. Parag again trying to eye the mid-wicket region. Called wide. So score moves on to 5. 4 extras already. In the air towards covers, going towards the extra cover boundary, collects another couple. Score moves on to 7. It's the last ball of the first over coming up. Asad floating this one outside off stump. Parag slicing it in the air, lucky for him, eludes the man at covers, so he is like asking for an LBW, down leg side. Cramp for room, so end of an. We have the last ball of the over coming up. So my bad, it's 5 balls done in the over. Asad again a wild swing, wanting to make use of the power play, but not to be. So 7 for no loss. 10 ball over. Silly ending 7 runs. 1 over 7 for no loss. Ranjit Kesavan partnering Asad. They had partnered to open the innings for JSS and now partnering to open the bowling for their team. Ranjit to Suresh. Again, outside off stump. Suresh barely using his feet out there. No feet movement whatsoever. Just chasing the ball on its line. Not sure if this. Inner edge goes towards the fine leg boundary. Man from short third doing the fielding. 1 run added. Score moves on to 8. Good bit of fielding by Vijay, running in from short third man towards the fine leg boundary and managing to keep them only to a single. So that's some neat work. Score moves on to 8 as Parag taking strike. Just itching to take on every ball. Again, the ball, another wide. So the 5th wide of the innings. Just 3 runs coming off the bat. 1 stroke each for both the batsmen, apart from that 5 wide. So score moves on to, remains on 8. This time in the air over the bowler, the man at mid off doing the covering up. 1 run added. Good bit of bowling, keeping the ball away from the batsman, not bowling it into his arc, as he has minimum protection outside the 30-yard circle. The man at asking for an LBW again. Suresh lucky that the ball is missing leg stump. Umpire is pretty critical of those. He's not going to give away anything so easily. So again, the ball on the patch not being made use of. There's just 2 men on the onside. Another wide. The bowler's not able to control that, and another wide added to the total. Again, playing within the line of the ball, no feet movement, absolutely no feet movement. Not sure what his intentions are here. Is he just being sent in to see off the new ball or to collect some runs? That's what the question is. Plays it back past the bowler, misfield there. 1 run added to the total. Score moves on to 11. That's the last ball of the 2nd over coming up. The 12 for the loss of no wicket at the end of 2 overs. Parag Sharma batting 3 of 5. Suresh batting 3 of 7. 6 extras in the innings. So far, all wides, 4 by Asad and 2 by Ranjit. Needing another 123 runs of the remaining 108 balls. Asad comes in to bowl his 2nd over. Dabs it, plays it to a short third and takes off for a quick single. Asad to Parag. Down leg side wide and another extra added. Keeper not getting behind the stumps on time, so 2 runs added. Score moves on to 15. Leg buys, so score goes on to 14. Parag comes on strike. Asad. Suresh plays it towards covers and misfield by the fielder there. 1 run added, score moves on to 15. Man at covers coming in for the catch. Misjudging it and letting it go over his head. So 1 run added, score moves on to 15. Again, swing and a miss. He's trying to eye that mid wicket on more than one occasions out here. No success whatsoever. No edge found as well. So he still remains on 3. This time in the air. Over the bowler's head for a maximum. So finally, Parag manages to land a blow and the maximum being scored there. Score moves on to 21. His teammates too agree that finally manages to get over the bowler's head. So Asad into Parag, now into zone. This time over mid-on, ball racing towards the boundary. 1 run completed. And a bit of sloppiness by Suresh, assuming that it is a boundary, not to be. So just 1 run added. Score moves on to 22. Parag moves on to double figures. He's 10 of 9. Suresh 5 of 9. .33 is what the current run rate is, requiring another 6.65 run rate, needing 113 of 102 balls. Ranjit into bowl. This time Prabhat in the air, managed short mid wicket, coming back and drops it. Was never comfortable with the ball in the air. Just tried his luck of putting his hand out and probably had it stuck. It's not so. Score moves on to 24. So a couple of drop catches. Parag still remains there. Again, wild swing, but the umpire deems it as a wide. Good thinking by Ranjit, trying to keep it away from the arc of Parag. But concedes a wide, so another extra added. 8 wides in innings, 7 wides and 1 leg by. This time plays it towards short mid wicket, adds another single. Score moves on to 26. Parag moves on to 13 of 11. Suresh batting 5 of 9. This time Suresh plays a full-blooded drive, but straight towards a non-striker stump. So unlucky for him. Probably we could have got a couple of runs at least, with the man at mid-on being in the circle and the man at long 29. This time bowling, trying to bowl the off spinner and bowls a wide. So score moves on to 30. We're just coming towards the end of the 4th over. We're in the power play. Man at point and the man at long off, the men outside the circle. Plays it down to mid-on, mid-wicket, and Asad doing the fielding there. 1 run added. This time, good bit of communication, converts the single into 2. So at the end of 4 overs, 32 is what the score is. Current run rate of 8 is required run rate dropping to 6.44 now. As Rehan comes in to bowl the first change. Asad 2 overs costing 16 runs. Ranjit 2 overs 15 runs. And the lone leg by to add to the 32. Batting analysis so far, Parag Sharma 17 of 13 with 1 maximum. Suresh batting 6 of 11. And 9 extras to help their cause. Exit 32 in the 4 overs that they've scored. Needing another 103 runs more of 96 balls as Rehan comes into bowl. Again, outside off stump being called a wide. Suresh just trying to hang his bat out there. Plays it towards short third and a single. Brings Parag on to strike. We have Rehan into Parag. This time, much better ball. Looping it. Parag is now trying to get into the zone where he tries to maximize the power play. He's got another couple of overs, 10 balls to be precise. Will want to maximize this power play. So let's see what he comes up. Comes down the track in the air. Man at mid-off inside the circle. So easy pickings. He scores another boundary again. Score moves on to 38. As we see, he moves on to 21 of 15. Change in field. The man from deep point coming in inside the circle and the man at mid-off going out. So the only two men stationed outside are at the long on and long off. Asking for an LBW, not to be. Parag way down the leg side. Score remains on 38 as we're coming towards the end of the fifth over. As we have a look at the India score, they're 197 for 7 with a partnership of 58 between, as another catch being dropped down there at mid-wicket. Parag collects another. Score moves on to 39. No wicket at 5 overs. Needing another 95 of 90 balls. Required run rate 6.33. Started at 6.75 at the start of the innings, so that's super play as of now in the favor of DNO Dynamos with no wickets lost. They've already touched 40. Both the batsmen stopping for a quick drink. It's starting to get hot out here. The weather's still good here at the at the Eagle Sports Club here in the Dubai Al-Ain Road. As temperatures touching the mid-20s. Wajid Shah, the new bowler. The first of the 3 games to be played out here. The next game between Supertech and Petrofac, followed by the last game of the day when Oil Source will take on Cummins Arabia. Both those sides are placed 1 and 2 respectively with 2 wins each. As the teams that are vying for the 2 points in this game have lost both their games respectively, so they will be keen to get their campaign back on track with a victory. As Rehan bowls into Parag. Swing and a miss, lucky for him, eludes the off stump. Scores 41. As Parag plays it in the air towards cover, over the man at covers. Completes 1, comes back for the second. Score moves on to 43 and Parag quickly races to 24 of 19. He's got 1 hit to the fence and 1 over it. He got a 92 of 87 balls. This time full-blooded swat towards long on. The man going towards 20 paces to his right. Collects the ball, keeps it down to a single. Into the line of the ball, plays it towards mid-off for a single. So slowly Suresh now getting into the measure of the wicket. He's managed to play a few strokes and get a few singles, so he's on 10 or 15. He moves into double figures as well. Main thing is he's partnering aside as Parag plays this one towards long on, hitting in on the lower half of the bat. getting a bit of distance but not enough to reach the boundary, so 1 run added to the total score, moves on to 46. So end of power play, 46 for no loss. Parag Sharma batting 26 of 21, Suresh batting 10 of 15. Current run rate 7.67, required run rate 6.36, needing another 89 of the remaining 84 balls. Bowling analysis so far: Asad 2 overs 16 runs, no wicket. Ranjit 2 overs 15 runs, no wicket. Rehan bowling the single over. Now coming on to bowler's second, he's given away 8 runs, and Wajid Shah giving away 6 runs of the first over he bowled. Parag this time towards deep mid wicket, ball racing towards the deep mid wicket boundary, fielder giving the chase, and ball crosses over to a boundary. Score moves to the 50 coming up in 6.1 overs. It's the kind of wicket where you get the measure of it and you can then start playing through the line of the ball, which is what he's done so far, as Rehan trying to cramp him up for room, but bowls a wide. Score moves on to 51. So required run rate slowly dropping down to 6.07. No ball is what does the umpire deem it a no ball. No, the ball dipping it in front of the batsman, so that's not going to be a no ball. As the umpire wants the keeper for rolling the ball. This time again a wide. Quick single. JSS boys unable to stop those singles from within the circle. Score moves on to 54 for no loss at 6.4 overs, as 5th ball of the 7th over coming up. In the air, mid-off comes settling under it, chance of a catch and another drop. So JSS returning the favor that the DNO Dynamos had done. They're unable to hold on to the catches. Score moves on to 55. This time towards covers. The man had extra cover coming in towards the circle to field. Keeps it down to a single. 7 overs, 56 for the loss of no wicket. Parag Sharma 32 of 25. 2 boundaries, 1 maximum. Suresh batting 12 of 17. And Rehan completing a second over, giving away 18 runs of that. Right arm over the wicket. Wajid Shah to continue. Suresh plays it towards extra cover for a single. Using his feet, coming down the ground, plays a single. So moves on to 57. Again, plays it towards extra cover. The man at the boundary doing the fielding keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 58. Umpire calling it a wide, so score moves on to 59. Now the run rate, required run rate, exactly 6 runs and over. Run a ball. 76 of 76 balls required. 59 for no loss. A small halt in play. As then on striker getting his boot laces being tied by the umpire. Parag Sharma, the beneficiary there, he's batting 33 of 26 as no ball being called. A free hit coming up, so Suresh should get a chance to collect some free runs out here. Moves on to 60. Suresh playing it, but no chance of a run there. Failing to capitalize on that. Score remains on 60. Needing another 75 runs of 75 balls. With all 10 wickets in hand for the DNO Dynamos as JSS. This time again, inner edge towards short mid-wicket, bowler completing the fielding there. Score moves on to 61. This tournament being sponsored by Bluebell Shipping, Servo well as Parag this time in the air, chance of a catch again, dropped by Asad, so the second consecutive drop by the captain. Failing to latch on to their catches are the JSS boys. As we thank our sponsors for this tournament, PFF Valve Fittings, Asco Filtry, Carltros, the associate sponsors, the main sponsors being Soberwell and Bluebell Shipping. The Oil and Gas Premier League Season 1. Suresh on strike. This time plays it towards mid-wicket. The man at deep mid-wicket coming in towards the 30th circle to field that one. Keeps it to a single. So the end of 8 overs, 63 for the loss of no wicket. Needing another 72 runs of the remaining 12 overs. DNO Dynamos will want to wind this game up as early as possible. We want to get their run rate up if they want to stake a claim in playing the higher plate events rather than the lower ones. Remember, all the team go to the knockout stages. The team placed 1 and 2 will contest the main finals, following by the team for the 3rd and 4th will play for the 3rd place, and the 5th and 6th team will play for the 5th place. So there's still a lot to play in this tournament. As you see a change, Asad coming back, trying to break this partnership of 63 so far between Suresh and Parag. Suresh on strike. Plays it towards covers. 1 run added there. Score moves on to 64. Still a lot of batting to come in for DNO Dynamos. All the 10 wickets in hand as Parag plays this towards long on for a single. Score moves on to 65. This time a good shot by Suresh, and he collects his first boundary, finally managing to send one past the ropes. Score moves on to 69, and he moves on to 20 of 24. Started off very slowly picking up the pace. He's got the measure of the wicket right now, and the umpires again warning the fielders of rolling the ball rather than throwing it. They would be taking a note of it as Asad comes into bowl to Suresh. Under edges the one back to the bowler. 69 for no loss. So required run rate comes down to below 6 runs an over. Again, a full-blooded drive, trying to play, no run there. Last ball of the 9th over coming up, 8.5 completed. End of the over. 9 overs completed, 69 for no loss. Parag Sharma 35 of 28, 2 boundaries, 1/6 strike rate of 125. Suresh 20 of 27 with 1 boundary. Parag Sharma asking for a change in bat. Ranjit comes to bowl his 3rd over. And finally, Ranjit managing to get the wicket. A change of bat didn't work. Parag Sharma finally out. He's out for 35 of 29 balls. As the captain Prabhat Saxena comes starting to stride towards the middle. A lot depends on him to steer this chase. First wicket down at the score of 69 as Prabhat Saxena to take strike. For the loss of 1 wicket. Saxena last game couldn't open his account against Oilsaw. Will want to get better with that as he takes it towards gully and pulls off for a single. He is off mark. Score moves on to 70 for 1. We're into the 10th over of the innings. Suresh batting 20 of 27. He is on strike. Short one doesn't manage to make contact. Score remains on 70. Towards deep point for a single. Score moves on to 71. Needing another 64 of the remaining 62 balls. DNO Dynamos sitting pretty happy at this as Prabhat plays it back towards the bowler. Very well knowing he has all the time to score these runs down. Need to get some runs under your belt. So he scored a good 80 in the first time he played. This time plays it defensively to end the over at 71 for 1. Not much to differentiate between the teams at this point. JSS was 69 for 1 in their 10 overs. And DNO Dynamos are 71 for 1 in their 10 overs. So we look at the scorecard and we have a drinks break. Parag Sharma, the man out, 35 of 29. Suresh batting 21 of 29. Prabhat Saxena, 1 run of the 3 balls he's faced. The cause of concern for JSS would be the 14 extras that they've given away so far. They're defending a shot total of 135. Bowling analysis. Asad 3 overs, 22 runs, no wicket. Ranjit Saxena, the lone wicket taker, 3 overs, 17 runs, 1 wicket. Rehan 2 overs, 18 runs, no wicket. And Wajid Shah 2 overs, 13 runs and no wicket. Fall of wicket 69 at 9.1 overs, needing another 64 of the remaining 10 overs at the rate of 6.40, current run rate of 7.10. Let's take a short break and we'll join in a few moments. Back as we start the second half of the innings. Raj took coming to bowl for the first time. Suresh, the batsman, was wide down leg side. to 72. Suresh plays it in the air. The man at Asad coming, and it's another drop. So a third drop by the captain. Just coming under the ball and crossing it down. Again, the hands not properly aligned to take that catch. So another drop. Prabhat on strike. Raj the bowler. Shot and plays it towards deep square leg, and his first boundary of the day, helping the ball from down the leg side. Easy pickings as we reach 1:45 local time. Scores moves on to 77. So we have a brief halt in play. So we quickly talk to Ranjit. Ranjit, happy being playing cricket at these grounds?
Yeah. Thank you so much for my captain, Asad. He has given the good opportunity to play for JSS. And I'm really happy to play under my boss, Mr. Ali.
And what has been the team talk? I mean, apart from trying to win the games, what has been the team talk as to how you go about playing this game?
Well, as captain, already informed all the bowlers to bowl on their line. So the wicket will come by itself. So we need to stick to the basic rules.
And as we come back live, thank you, Ranjit, for your time as Raj into ball to Prabhat. Slowly plays it towards the man at point, takes a single. Score moves on to 78. As an overthrow results in another run, score moves on to 79. Prabhat races to 7 of 5 with one boundary. Suresh batting 22 of 30 balls. As another wide being bowled, so the extras adding to the total and making it all the more difficult. Ranjit had said that the captain had advised them to keep the ball on line and length and the wickets are going to come, but as of now, not much success apart from the wicket that he got. So another wide down leg side, 2 wides added to the total. Score moves on to 82. 53 of the remaining 57 as Raj decides to come round the wicket. He is bowling to Suresh. And the result still the same. Another wide. So 19 extras in the innings, 17 wides. This time a much better line. Suresh again hanging his bat out, no feet movement at all towards the line of the ball, just trying to stick his bat out and guide the ball to his third man. There's a slip in place, got to be careful. As Raj from round the wicket this time drives it towards covers. Ranjit coming in from long off, trying to keep it down to a single, but Prabhat quick enough to take the double, so score moves on to 85. It's come towards the last ball of the 11th over, needing another 50 runs required of the remaining 55 balls. Good ball this time. End of the over. 11 overs done, 85 for the loss of 1 wicket. Current run rate of 7.73. Required run rate of 5.56. Rajendran giving 14 runs of the over that he had bowled. So Anjanaya, the new bowler. Wide down leg side. It's on to 86. Ball plays it towards short mid wicket. 1 run taken. Quick turnaround for the second. Shiraz, the fielder, this time giving a taste of his own medicine. He had stolen a lot of singles to doubles when he had batted. So this time he was on the wrong side of that. Concedes a double score. Moves on to 88. Anjanaya to Prabhat, bowling from a slightly lower trajectory, so Prabhat has to be careful of the ball's not going to bounce much, it's going to come knee height, not much beyond that, so wide, no ball being called. So a free hit coming up. Towards Ajit, the fielder there at backward square, keeps it down to a single, so not much advantage taken from the no ball. Suresh had missed out on his opportunity by not scoring. Prabhat just getting a single, being overzealous on that stroke, could have waited for that one and swung it anywhere, but Suresh plays it in the air, nobody there at mid-on, ball going towards long on for a single. So moves on to 90. Prabhat plays it towards covers, the man at extra cover doing the fielding, keeps it down to a single. So moves on to 91. That's the fifth ball of the over coming up. Anjanaya, the bowler, bowls another wide. So moves on to 92. Plays it to a short cover, no run there. Wanting a risky single, but Prabhat denying that. Score remains on 92. Misfield there. It's 1 run added. Score moves on to 93. End of 12 overs. Needing 42 runs of the remaining 8 overs. 93 for the loss of 1 wicket. Suresh batting 26 of 36. Quick change. JSS scoring 8 boundaries and a 6 in the innings that they had faced, and they called a wide. So far, DNO Dynamos scoring 4 boundaries and 1 6. So it's that sort of a wicket. The wides have been the main player out here. 23 extras already by the JSS bowlers. Suresh this time plays it in the air, going towards long on. Shiraz running in from long on, Keeps it to a single. Score moves on to 95. But guides it towards the vacant gully region. One comes back for the second. Score moves on to 97. Raj coming from round the wicket. Prabhat rocks on the back foot, plays it towards long off for a single. Score moves on to 98. Bowling aside, called a no ball, bowling it outside the tram lines for another free hit. Score moves on to 99. Free hit coming up. Suresh has got the chance of scoring some free runs. Let's see. So far, one run has been scored of the two no balls at are. This time too, managing to get scored. 100 coming up in the 13th over, needing another 35 runs more to win this game. Not ready to take that risky single. Score remains on 100. We are in the 14th, the 13th over of the game. 12.5 overs completed. He plays it towards covers. Man at extra cover doing the fielding. 101 for 1 at the end of 13 overs. Current run rate 7.77. Required run rate now dropping to 4.36, making it all the more difficult for JSS to come back into the game until they can pick up a couple of quick wickets. We'll be happy to see the back of Prabhat Saxena, if not Suresh. Prabhat plays it towards square leg. Score moves on to 102. Suresh on strike. Cramps in for room, but still manages to squeeze it down to short covers for a single. Score moves on to 103. The one good thing that the DNO Dynamos have done, have kept the scorecard moving, managing to take quite a few runs within the ring itself, putting a lot of pressure on the JSS boys. They are on the edge of the circle, so the singles are always on. Prabhat now rocks back, plays it towards the vacant cover region. The man at extra cover doing the fielding. Score moves on to 104. Suresh batting 29 of 40. Prabhat is 16 of 15. Clamps in for room. On the back foot, Prabhat wanting a single, but Suresh in no position to come in for that run, so score remains on 104, needing another 31 of 38 balls. So followed by the game between Petrofac and Supertech as Suresh rocks back and plays it towards long on. One more run. $105 for 1. Plays it towards gully. The man stopping it with his foot, so keeping it down to a single. So at the end of 14 overs, 106 for 1, Asad completing his quota of 4 overs for 27 runs without a wicket. The only wicket to fall was that of Parag Sharma, who was bowled by Ranjit Kesavan for 35. JSS boys now going through the motions. Shoulders have dropped, waiting for the inevitable to happen. DNO Dynamos at the moment are enjoying the proceedings, well on course for their first victory of the tournament. 106 for 1, needing another 29 more runs. Comparatively, JSS were 99 at the end of 14 overs, so nothing much to differentiate. It's only that they couldn't capitalize on the last 6 overs. Wajid Shah comes into bowl. Prabhat again guides this towards gully and takes off for a single, so easy single there. 107 for 1. Plays it over long on for a single. 108 for 1 at the end of 14.2 overs. Prabhat Saxena playing it back to the bowler, no run there. Chance of a catch and another drop. Testing Asad today. 4th catch that he's dropped of the day. 3 of Suresh. How good is Prabhat going to make him feel about it? Another wide. Umpire calling it a wide. Score moves on to 109. Over point, completes a single, comes back for the second. Suresh being pushed there for the double. So at the end of 15 overs, 111 for the loss of no wicket, needing another 24 runs of the remaining 5 overs. The teams are coming. We have a drinks break, 111 for 1. So Oil and Gas Premier League, a family event where we have families coming and supporting their dads and uncles. Loud cheer for the young lad who just brought in water for the batsman in the center. Back to action where 24 runs required of the remaining 5. Mujtaba the bowler. Suresh playing it towards short covers and ambling out for a single, so 1 more added. Score moves on to 112. Mustafa to Prabhat. Box back, plays it towards covers, takes off for a single there. Score moves on to 113. As Mustafa, Suresh again cramping him for room, but Suresh now has maneuvering the ball towards and collecting a single practically every ball, so he's moved on to 32 of 44. Prabhat Saxena 21 of 22. So this time fielder much alert, not allowing the single. Prabhat was trying to manufacture the stroke. The ball's not coming onto the bat as he would like. It's a bit too paced. So, score 114. In the air towards wideish long off. 1 run completed. Comes back for the second. Suresh struggling out there, but the keeper fielder missing it. So 2 runs. He's clearly running out of steam out here, Suresh. Still hanging in there. So moves on to 116. It's now needing another 19 runs. So move on to 2 o'clock local time. Over covers for a boundary, so a boundary after quite some time. Score moves on to 120, so another 15 runs required of the remaining 25 balls. So we have the get the camera, come to the camera. With that. That's the last ball of the over coming up. Wide down leg side, quite bit of appeal by the keeper, but not to be given. As we come back to action, as needing another 14 runs to win, 121 for 1. Again, in chipped it over mid-off, man it long off, doing the fielding, misfields there, gives them the chance to come back for the second. Score moves on to 123. For 1 at the end of 16 overs. Needing another 16 runs to win as Ranjit comes on to bowl. As we speak to Vinod. Vinod, your assessment of the wicket today as you came into bowl?
Yeah, it was nice, and we expected these wickets. We are on control.
You're in control. And what has been the team talk, and what is your role in this team as of now?
As a bowler. Yeah.
And try to, unlucky to not to get a wicket, but happy with the bowling?
It's okay because we are planning to bowl in the offside only. So if there's no wickets, no issues on that.
All right, he's happy with that. He's happy with that as Suresh plays this one towards long off for another single as we start coming towards the closure of this game. And score moves on to 124. Prabhat facing Ranjit. Again, chipping this over covers, man it long off doing the fielding, so another single. Score moves on to 125. Full-blooded shot down the ground. The man at long off being quite wide for another boundary collected. Score moves on to 129. Suresh Now reaching 38 of 48 balls with 2 boundaries. He's been there right from the start of the game. Needing another 6 runs of the remaining 20 balls. Would want to finish it off in a hurry. Trying to play it down the ground again. Back towards the bowler. So no run added. 129. Needing another 6 runs of the remaining 19 balls. Back to the bowler. Just short of him. End of the over. 129 for 1 at the end of 17. So another 6 runs required of the remaining 3 overs. So this one plays it towards Ajit Shah bowling onto the pads and Prabhat helping it down towards the square leg boundary for another boundary. So just 2 runs away from victory. He races to 34 of 27. Suresh is on 38 of 50. Wajid to Prabhat. Plays it towards short mid wicket. Plays it towards mid on. The man at long on doing the fielding. No run added there. Towards mid off, a single there. Prabhat taking off for the single. Suresh quite late to react, but in the end managing to complete the single. Scores level. Another 1 run required of the 14 balls. So a comprehensive victory for DNO Dynamos as so 1 run added, 135. So they win by 9 wickets. We conclude the first game, a 9-wicket victory for DNO Dynamos, registering their first win of the season. The Oil and Gas Premier League Season 1.
करेंगे वो एमडी ऑफ
DNO. DNO win the match.
मेरा स्पीच के बाद कैप्टन स्पीच के बाद आना तो हु इज द मैन ऑफ द मैच
यो जल्दी आ जल्दी खड़ा हाँ उधर ही खड़ा रहे उधर ही खड़ा है एक काम कर कम हियर प्रभात you come this side प्रभात you come. All right, welcome to the presentations as we have the man of the match Prabhat Saxena will be receiving the check from from Deepak Odrani MD of Supertech as we quickly and a trophy as well to go ahead with that. Thank you. As we quickly talk to Ajit, who is deputizing for Asad. Asad? So Ajit, anything about Asad? 4 catches, he had quite a few teasers today.
it was not his day, that's fine. But we have to work on our fielding. And initially we didn't play well. Like the batting, we expected to reach somewhere around 180 to 200. But unfortunately, we couldn't make it.
Anyway, how's the team doing? I mean, I understand that having losses is this one, but how are you planning to keep the morale up of the boys?
We'll see in the next game. We'll go for practices and let's see how it goes around.
Anyway, thank you for your time on all the best for the next games. As Prabhat, can we have a word with you quickly? Prabhat, happy to get those first 2 points and the man of the match, which you missed out on the first game that you played.
Absolutely, man. This is the most happiest moment for me right now, right? With the team coming over here and winning the game, nothing beats it. Man of the match with it, it's like cherry on the cake, right? So.
Okay, you've got the campaign back on track. A couple of tough games coming up for you. What have you all planned, or is it at the planning stage as of now for the next game?
So yesterday, one of the guy from the team asked what is the strategy for tomorrow, right? I want to keep things very simple, like just focus on the processes and move on. So we don't care about who are we playing against. We just play with the strength that we have got and the perform. That's our simple plan, right?
Anyway, congratulations for the win and the man of the match, and all the best for the rest of the games, and hope to see you all get another couple of victories before your belt. Thank you, and that concludes our presentation with the first game done for the day. DNO Dynamos winning by 9 wickets. Second game coming up. Supertech take on Petrofac in the next few moments. Thank you.